Hi, welcome. It's Kenny Russell, Bulldoze of Faith, living life in the Spirit. We're on the Planting Seeds of Light tour here in the USA, and it's exciting to see what is happening as people are coming to the realization that they truly are Israel. Here in Pennsylvania, I'm with Doug. Doug, how are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Excellent. Well, thanks for joining with me, and it's great that we can spend this time just to talk a little bit of testimony. Just want to ask you just a few questions. What is happening in your life that is making you or drawing you towards going back to the Hebraic roots of the faith?
Well, I kind of grew up in the church. We used to go to two churches every Sunday. My parents would be at one, we'd be at the other. And I knew the difference between the Methodist and Presbyterian churches because one said debts, the other said trespasses. When I got born again, I was probably in my 40s. I was 44 when I got born again. I really developed a hunger for knowing what the truth was. And I was wondering, why are we doing some of these traditions? Where did Santa Claus come from? What's Easter all about? So I started looking into them, and I came across a gentleman, Mr. Michael Rood, and he started helping me answer some of those questions and actually bringing up some new ones that I hadn't even thought of. And so I really came to the conclusion that I wanted to find the truth.
Right.
And that's where my journey has been. And we've been weeding out a lot of things. Christmas trees. We started with Santa Claus. Christmas trees. We don't do the Easter Bunny type of thing anymore, that kind of thing. And that's really kind of where my journey started developing from that. It came from a little seed.
Right.
Probably was Michael Rood planting that seed, but then
Amen.
we went from there.
It's amazing. You know, many people testify, just like you've said, you know, they want to find out the why. They want to become seekers of truth. And this is very key for those watching and for all of us. You know, we have to get to the place where we work out our salvation, it says in Scripture, to work it out. It tests everything according to the Scripture. Does what we believe line up with Scripture? You know, I understand you saw the Christmas, the Easter stuff, and you thought, that's not there, and you get some teaching on that. But how shocked were you to find and discover that these things were not part of the Scriptures?
It was pretty shocking. I just assumed that the people that were teaching us, our pastors, were actually trained and that they knew better than us. So anything that they were going to tell us was going to be straight from the Bible and so forth. We weren't all, when I grew up early on, we weren't overly encouraged to read the Bible. We weren't discouraged, but we weren't encouraged. So we really didn't read the Bible. They read Scripture every week in church, but that didn't necessarily have anything to do with the message.
Did you ever take your thoughts and the things that you were discovering as you picked up the Scriptures for yourself? Did you ever take that to church leaders and ask them, "Are you, is this true?" Or did you ever challenge them on that?
I did to some degree, and a lot of them gave me some answers, and I had to kind of then go back and see whether I was having a difficulty reconciling those answers with what I thought the Bible was actually saying.
Okay. So you find out that these things are not biblical. This creates a desire in you to please Yahovah, because that's the whole reason why we are seekers of truth, because we want to please Him.
Exactly.
How do you feel? Well, firstly, how long has this journey been for you? How long? When did it start?
It started probably a dozen years ago.
Wow.
But it really has come to fruition more and more. I mean, it was very gradual, but now it's been much more rapid.
Did you find you were in isolation on your own at the beginning? Was that your experience?
Yeah, I was. I felt like there wasn't anybody else doing it, so we would just kind of eliminate a few traditions, but we wouldn't make a big deal about it. We eliminated Santa Claus a few years back, and our our eldest daughter decided to eliminate Santa Claus too, so that was fine. But we eliminated the Christmas tree, and they didn't want to do that.
Right. Yeah, because the rest of
And
society
Easter
is
egg hunts and all that kind of stuff too.
they're falling away. Yeah, it says in the scripture not to be conformed to the patterns of this world, but to be transformed with the renewing of our minds. And it's amazing. You know, like you said, you do this because they're saying it from the pulpit, saying it from the front. You want to do what's right, and you're hearing this. But when we get that movement within our lives to seek truth, it opens up a whole door. And the door that opens is not a door just for us to have our own opinion. You weren't on a journey to establish your own opinion, were you?
No, I wanted, my whole journey was based on the truth.
Right.
If Yeshua wanted me to worship him in a certain way, I wanted to worship him in the way he wanted to be worshipped, not in the way that of the traditions of men. And that's really what it came down to. It said, beware of the traditions of men in the Bible. And I said, what are the traditions of men?
Right.
So you started having to question, what have I been believing that is a tradition of man versus what Yahweh has wanted me to how he wanted to be worshipped.
Wow. And it is important because it says in the scripture, don't bring an unholy fire before me. There's a way in which we are called to worship him. We can't do as we please. If we could do as we please, why would we even have the scriptures in the first place?
Exactly.
He has given us this book, and it's called the Book of Instructions. He wants us to carry out the instructions of the scripture for our own protection, our own fulfillment. And in the midst of doing this, Doug, what would you say? Has your joy been pushed down as everyone has tried to say, Doug, what are you doing? Come back over to Christmas. Come on, we'll invite you back to the party. You know, they're just trying to put a downer on the things that you're walking with. Have you lost your joy in accepting the instructions of Scripture?
Oh, absolutely not. No, if anything, it's increased. I find just knowing what his real name is, and just knowing what he calls an abomination, and being able to walk in the way that he has asked us to walk in, to me is. I just want to know that I'm doing it the best that I can do.
In accordance with him. And for those watching, I want to encourage you, with Doug's testimony and what he's sharing, you know what's powerful? Even in the place of isolation, his joy was greater than in the place when he was following the traditions of man. And on this journey, with what's happened in your life, now here you are in a place of incredible fellowship. There's so many people around you that are walking the same walk, and praise Yehovah that you were able to pioneer even in your area, make a stand and be a witness and testimony to the truth, and that's what it's about. I want to thank you for watching.
Let him hear what the Spirit has to say.